Without objection.
I also ask unanimous consent to waive the mandatory quorum call with respect to the Nesvik nomination.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I rise today to shine a spotlight on what Democrats are doing in terms of unprecedented obstruction. Obstruction of the Senate nominating process. The nomination process has been ground to a halt as a result of the Democrats. Today, like every other day this Congress, Senate Republicans will burn hours of floor time on votes that for every other president of the United States would have taken only seconds. So till now. President Trump is the only president in modern history not to have a single nominee confirmed by voice vote or unanimous consent. Not a single one. Even the most routine nominations are being filibustered. Positions that used to just fly through the Senate by voice vote or unanimous consent are now being treated and taken as political hostages. This isn't normal. This is petty partisan politics at its worst, and it is petty. Well, let me tell you the facts that the Senate Democrats don't want the American people to hear. George Herbert Walker Bush, President of the United States, 98% of his nominees were confirmed by a voice vote or unanimous consent. Bill Clinton, President of the United States, 98% of his nominees were confirmed by voice vote or unanimous consent. George W. Bush, President of the United States, 90% of his nominations were confirmed by voice vote or unanimous consent. President Barack Obama, 90% of his nominees were confirmed by voice vote or unanimous consent. Then President Trump took office in his first term, and Democrats' obstruction began. The numbers dropped from 90% under President Obama to 65% under President Trump in that first term. Remember, today it's zero, 65% in his first term. Even Joe Biden, the president Republicans strongly opposed, had 57% of his nominations confirmed by voice vote or unanimous consent. Republicans did not sabotage each and every Biden ambassador and every Biden undersecretary simply out of spite. No, over half were confirmed by unanimous consent. Today, Democrats are obstructing simply for the sake of obstruction. Senate Democrats continue to stonewall the Senate nomination process and slow walk every single one of President Trump's nominees. So I have a copy of today's list. Here we have the executive calendar, Friday, August 1st, 2025. Totally routine nominees for positions that sailed through the Senate for every other president. And yet Senate Democrats demanded cloture votes for every single one. I would ask a single Democrat in this chamber, without mentioning President Trump's name, tell me why, on the schedule today, the legal advisor for advocacy for the Small Business Administration is somehow controversial. Last night, right here, when we were doing cloture votes, a Democrat came in, one of the Republican senators said, after that Democrat voted no, he said, "Who did we vote on?" Democrat senator said, "I don't know." "Well, what's wrong with him?" "I don't know. What's the position?" "I don't know." "Well, you just voted no on him. Why was that?" "Oh, nominated by President Trump." That was the only reason that that nominee got a negative vote from the Democrat. That's what we're happening, and that's what we're seeing here, and that's what the Democrats continue to do. Why should this nominee be held up and filibustered? Democrats can't tell you why. They have no idea why, other than the nomination is made by President Trump. This isn't about qualifications of the nominations. This isn't about questioning their resumes or their past history. This is just resisting President Trump. Automatic Democrat obstruction, that doesn't make our communities safer, doesn't make our country stronger, doesn't make families and small businesses more prosperous. It just wastes time and weakens America. Well, despite the Democrats' wall of obstruction, Senate Republicans are continuing to press forward. We have so far confirmed 120 nominees since President Trump's second term began. And we're doing it one at a time, one day at a time, one vote at a time, one nominee at a time. Now, the good news is we've confirmed twice as many positions and nominees in President Trump's second term compared to his first term. Let's be clear. Republicans are not backing down. We're going to continue to confirm President Trump's nominees the easy way if we can, the hard way if we must. The American people elected President Trump and the Senate Republicans to get America back on track after 4 years of high prices and open borders under the Democrats. They expect this president to have his team in place, and that's what the Senate Republicans will continue to do. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the floor. Suggest the absence of a quorum.